have a very blunt take about the situation. I think if anyone around this man, in this man's circle, has ever heard him say a slur in his entire life, not just that word, any slur, he simply should not have been there.
Maybe your heart's in the right place and you feel sympathetic towards how Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo feel in that situation, but what you're talking about here is discrimination. Do we really want to go down the route of discrimination, segregation, all that kind of thing? The word that was used in that situation, which I noticed that you didn't want to remove from your video, is rooted in making people feel like they are a low social standard. And what you're talking about is marginalising an already discriminated group of people. Now, in the UK, they are actually protected under the Disability Discrimination Act. Tourette's syndrome comes under that, and also the Equalities Act. I still don't feel like I'm best placed to talk about this subject, but I'm still trying my best. I also don't feel like you're best placed for talking about this subject either, because you've got a sporting injury that doesn't really qualify you as disabled. But where does it stop? Speaking of what people look like, is that what we do? We pick people out for how they look and we stop them going into events? Do we read through their medical history and decide whether they're allowed to go to something or not? Are people with Tourette's allowed to go to concerts? Are they allowed to go to sporting events? Are they allowed to be going shopping? Are they allowed to out in public? Should we just have them in their houses like what we did in the 19th and 20th century? Or should we just institutionalise them because they can't control themselves? Or is it only at events where an organisation has been historically racist? I mean, maybe we should make all heterosexual straight men stay at home because they've had plenty of awards over their time. I feel so bad for Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo in that situation. It must have been incredibly difficult to contain yourself. And also, every other person in that audience, including people of colour, they all reacted incredibly well and with poise, and it was incredibly commendable. It is awful, but this is something that needs to be discussed because you cannot discriminate people from events. It would have been better if the movie was creating this discussion rather than this incident at the BAFTAs. It is unfortunate, but let's try and use this moment to not discriminate against anyone and confront all the issues that are raised because of this. The public should never have even known about this incident. It should have been cut out during the broadcast. But the BBC chose to leave it in, and that shows you that they are systemically racist. The systemic racism is the problem, not Tourette's syndrome, or specifically coprolalia, which John suffers from. I totally understand the anger that everyone is feeling on this subject, because a white person shouting that at black people in the most inappropriate setting is truly awful. This man has been kicked out of school, he's been arrested, he's been beat up, and all the other things that's happened in his life for something that he cannot control. And in a moment of celebration of his life, you don't want him to celebrate that. You want him to stay at home and celebrate in the comfort of his own home or an institution, I guess. This moment celebrates everything that he's done in his life up to this moment, raising awareness and doing everything good he can for this world and raising awareness for others with similar disorders to him. John came out and said he was mortified, and he's apologised like he's done throughout his life for something that he cannot control. Him and many others have the same problems on a daily basis, and they are discriminated because of it. And you're choosing to discriminate against them again over racism because that's a bigger problem than discrimination. I don't think you can pick and choose, unfortunately. The BBC have not sufficiently apologised for this incident, and they really need to do a better job. The BAFTA statement, on the other hand, was worded really well, so you should pause to read that. There are other creators that are better placed to talk about this subject, so please go and check out their videos. I will tag them below.